Hi everyone, this is Ben from Oracle. Thanks for joining the Oracle Analytics Summit. Today we are going to watch a session with Bill Marcellus from the DTCC. Bill is going to show us how he is using Oracle Analytics Cloud on top of financial systems. We are going now to watch the session. Thanks for joining.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining the session today. I'm Bill Marcellus, Financial Systems Director at the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. And we're going to be talking, delving into a lot of the experience DTCCs had in the Oracle Cloud space, primarily focused on analytics and the platform as a service offerings like the Autonomous Data Warehouse, and how much we've been able to quickly transform DTCC's back office organization and financial processes, leveraging the capabilities of the Oracle Cloud. DTCC is embedded in the securities market. So when you're thinking about the traditional Wall Street companies like your JP Morgans, your Merrill Lynch's, your Goldman Sachs's, the big banks and broker dealers, those are our customers, our primary customers that are leveraging our systems to actually facilitate all of their securities movements and their securities transactions that are taking place on the various stock exchanges and the financial markets. So most of the activity and securities transactions that flow through the U.S. markets on a daily basis are ending up processing through our systems as we interface with those exchanges and with the clients, those banks and broker dealers, and facilitate the life cycle of the trade from the securities movements between accounts and the actual movement of the massive amounts of dollars that you would expect at the end of the day when the U.S. financial market closes. Just looking at last year in total, we estimate that DTCC in total value of securities movements that were facilitated through us, that the value was around 1.85 quadrillion. I can tell you that number seems to go up every year that I've been with the organization for the last 15 years. So we may be exceeding a quadrillion one of these days if we continue going at it. And I could tell you that I already don't know how many zeros there are in a quadrillion. So we're going to have some problems. Moving on to the actual meat of the presentation, what you guys are probably more interested in than my boring company and job. Looking at the revolution that DTCC's back office went through. So I just got done finishing telling you, how awesome and how robust the technology is on the front end of the organization, the client-facing side, being able to facilitate close to $2 quadrillion worth of securities movements. We're not quite as advanced on the back office in terms of the accounting systems, the general ledger, the payables, receivables, all the traditional corporate parts of the organization. So, in order to try to start catching up with our front office, we actually took an endeavor into the Oracle Cloud starting in 2017. As you can see, we have moved quite far along in that time. Most of our systems are now sitting in the Oracle Cloud space. So we're partnered with HR, where in the SaaS space, we've got HCM and some of those complementary systems. The financials, we are already up and running with general ledger, inventory, payables, cash management, receivables, and now procurement this year coming into effect. We've also got most of the EPM products in the SaaS space. And then finally, what I'm really focused on today is the PaaS, the Platform as a Service Cloud, where we're using Oracle Analytics Cloud, the Autonomous Database, Oracle Data Integrator, and Apex, one of my favorite toys. Moving on to the state where we were prior to 2019, when I was just making that joke about how we were falling behind the rest of the organization in terms of that front end versus back office. Just putting some of that into, the challenges that the back office finance faced. So we had a very decentralized or inaccessible, source of data. We had very decentralized accounting systems. Before we moved to the cloud, we had very limited visibility to actually drill down and analyze that data because it was sitting in the systems. We didn't really have any good, BI tool or analytics self-service capability for the users to get out that data and really, leverage it to, make decisions and perform their job faster. We lacked the IT resources to get out that data because when we needed to get the ability to drill down into the data, you always needed IT guys to come in and pull the data out for you, format it into extract, and users were doing a lot of manipulation in Excel. There was no self-service reporting tool that really got the end users the ability to, on the fly, be able to visualize that data and query it to get the selections just right to find what they needed. So lots of back and forth with IT developers, and really time consuming and frustrating for the end users trying to get their proper analytics that they needed to actually perform their jobs effectively. So to solve all that, we chose Oracle Analytics Cloud and the platform as a service cloud that goes with that as the solution to perfectly complement our Oracle SaaS offering, the footprint that we had put in over the prior 2 years. So primarily we're using the autonomous platform as a service offerings that exist in that PaaS space. So it's not just the autonomous database, but the analytics cloud, Oracle Analytics Cloud that we're using also is considered to be autonomous, where traditionally platform as a service could be interpreted that you've got to do all the maintenance of the the underlying systems and patching and all that good stuff. That really is your traditional IT role. But with the Oracle Cloud and the autonomous offerings, that has really been cleaned up and eliminated from our lives, which has really allowed us to do everything free of the IT resources, pretty much. So the Oracle's doing all the maintenance of the systems for us, and they're probably programming robots to do the maintenance in a lot of cases. I guess that's why they're autonomous. It looks seamless, whatever they are doing, because everything is working well. There's no database administration. There's no patching of our analytics environments. Everything is quick to deploy and easily scalable. So when I talk about easily deployed and easily scalable, that goes for just about any of those offerings in the PaaS space: the databases, the ETL instances of Oracle Data Integrator, the analytics instances, production, test, development. With this platform as a service universal credit model that DTCCs bought into with Oracle, we're not anymore buying a number of fixed licenses for a system or a number of databases. We're actually just buying dollars. So putting that in a very, very simple example, which I have displayed up on the screen here, this is not by any means any real timeline of what we've actually done. We've got a lot more than what I'm showing, the simple example. But just showing you the flexibility and the capabilities of this universal credit model that we use. So basically, let's say I am paying Oracle $10,000 a month in universal credits. That gives me literally free reign to do whatever I want with that $10,000 in that month or by the hour. So basically, there's a certain price rate on having an Analytics Cloud instance up and running with a CPU of horsepower. If I deploy one of those and I deploy, in that first example, looking at Monday, let's say I deployed a production instance of Analytics Cloud with a autonomous data warehouse cloud production instance as well, and I use 16 OCPUs of horsepower. And let's say I do a test instance each of OAC and ADWC also for 1 CPU of horsepower. On Tuesday, I can decide I want to change that up. I need more, horsepower for the test environment. We need to do some different types of testing. I want to reduce my OAC instances down to half of what they were yesterday, 8 OCPUs versus 16, and I want to actually add another test environment so that we can do some other flavor of testing for separate development effort that's being done in the test environment. So you can see the red stars are the things I've changed on Tuesday, literally with a click of a button. As long as I'm staying within my universal credit, I guess allowance, I can call it. We can do whatever we want, and we can literally deploy or undeploy instances within minutes. Tuesday afternoon, you could see I changed my mind again, and I deployed a SOA managed file transfer instance, using my universal credits, and I also wanted to start delving into chatbots. So I deployed a test instance of the digital assistant. Literally, again, within minutes, I click a button, give the instance a name, and I've got both of those available to me to start using. So really just speaking to the flexibility and difference from the previous world where getting those instances in place, going to the IT department, going through procurement, waiting for all the approvals, and buying specific licenses or specific, numbers of, environments, waiting for them to be deployed by the IT guys. I've been waiting for, probably a good year to do some of those things that I was able to do within minutes, with the click of a button. So within our analytics space, we partnered with a third party, Apps Associates, to actually further accelerate the timeline to get to the cloud, to get the analytics up and running and get our users, the benefits of the analytics self-service capabilities much faster. So within a couple of months, and I'm going to say actually literally it was 3 months, and no lies, we actually were fully up and running with our Oracle Analytics Cloud production environment, using subject areas for the general ledger system, payables, receivables, fixed assets, and our planning and budgeting data from EPBCS. And fully operational. So that screenshot I have down at the bottom there of all of our subject areas is our actual production list of subject areas. So there's actually a little bit more than what I actually mentioned. And I am not lying. That was up and running within 3 months. Users were already, in there getting the benefits of being able to get self-service access to that data to build their visualizations and analyze on the fly. That included also dashboards and custom reports. So these financial accelerators that came with the third-party offering that Apps Associates gave us, well, literally they just came in and deployed, something that they do at many different clients on a regular basis. Giving you a quick overview of the architecture of what our landscape is looking like in the Oracle Cloud space. So your top left, cloud, the Oracle SaaS, we've got Oracle ERP, the EPM products, and our HR HCM system. The cool thing that I'm going to get more into in a second is that dotted line going over that is called user role synchronization. So because everything is in the Oracle Cloud and our HR is there with us, we actually have been able to automate all of our user security with our Oracle Platform as a Service systems, like the Analytics Cloud, Apex, and everything that sits over there. So the HR data, that's, when an employee gets onboarded, they're given a specific job function. We've actually defined mapping rules that say that user, because they're sitting in that department and they have this role, will be automatically provisioned a certain security access. And that actually is synchronized over to the Identity Cloud Service layer in our Platform as a Service base, which then ties into all of our Analytics Cloud instances, our database instances, fully eliminated the need for the system administrators to actually provision access to the systems. On top of reducing all the IT costs, we've actually brought the security maintenance down to almost nothing, pretty much. On the Platform as a Service part of the cloud, you could also see we are leveraging quite a number of tools. Obviously, Analytics Cloud. We're also using the autonomous databases for all the data sets. We have Oracle Data Integrator deployed in the cloud as our middleware system to the ETL that's actually taking the data from the various sources, transforming it into the way we need it in the analytics layer, and loading it into that database as the data is being pulled in real time on a scheduler. And then we're using the SOA managed file transfer to actually facilitate drop-offs of files for those file-based transfers that the system is sending us data. And then my favorite toy then on the bottom right is Apex, the Application Express Designer tool, which I'm going to get into in a second, show you the cool use cases we've actually used for that for. High-level overview of all the awesome achievements we've actually been able to do since just January 2019, a little bit over a year now, in the Platform as a Service space and in Analytics Cloud. So we've actually integrated already 14 different systems in terms of the data sources that are being actively pulled daily, weekly, as we've scheduled them as needed by the users into the analytics data warehouse. So that by itself is a massive accomplishment, because I earlier said, getting at the data that was sitting in all these separate systems previously, the users would have to sit and wait, for a good 6 months to actually get a basic Excel spreadsheet built out of any of those systems, and then do all that manipulation of the data and formatting in Excel to actually try to do analysis. God forbid they wanted to cross-system data to see data from multiple systems in one place. It would have been pretty much impossible. So getting 14 systems all in one spot for analytics. We've built 30 subject areas, which are those pre-built data models that join all the data together and makes it presentable to the user so they can just drag and drop what they want from a menu, a catalog, making it very easy to find the data they want. 200 active users, and I say 200 plus, it's growing by the day. We've gotten a lot of demand for that data. Users are quickly finding out how easy it is to look at it and how effective it is at finding the information they need that they couldn't get at in their system. So we're quickly getting more and more users coming to us with questions about how they use the system and how they can actually add more content in there that they want to actually see. So we've got 20 team metrics dashboards approximately, and 100 plus plus again, that number grows by the day. All the reports, data visualizations that people have built self-service within the analytics tool already. And we're giving a very rough estimate here. We've already saved a minimum of 3,000 full-time employee hours with some of the automation of reports and manual data manipulation. Things people were previously manipulating spreadsheets and doing that on a lag basis where the data was never real time and never really meaningful anymore because it was so behind reality. Again, speaking to the some of those other benefits you realize that you really wouldn't expect in an analytics platform just because of the other stuff that's available in this integrated platform as a service space with Oracle Cloud. Again, the Identity Cloud service, the single sign-on layer that comes with the platform as a service. So again, we've integrated that with the HR system. All the active employees are getting automatically provisioned their security access to anything that sits under the platform as a service side, including Analytics Cloud. That really goes a long way in promoting the use of the system. Because I could tell you, looking at some other competing tools that I've seen internally, analytics tools, there's always the challenge, how do I get access to this thing? Somebody builds a nice report, they can't share it with anybody because nobody else has access to get to it. The automation of that user provisioning really, really makes a huge difference in adoption, I would say. The Application Express Designer, I keep talking about that and hinting at it. I'm going to show you some real life examples on the next slide, but just talking to that a little bit. So that was an unexpected toy that came with the autonomous database. So we can literally just program our own custom applications without any coding language or any coding knowledge whatsoever, all using SQL and a user interface where you just literally drag and drop and define property values to arrange your forms. So we've actually, the tools come with the Oracle autonomous databases for free. So they're available as soon as you deploy a database. Again, we use the user access authentication that comes with the Identity Cloud service. So again, it's integrated with the HR system. We actually have built some very lightweight forms where users can supplement the data directly interacting with system tables in the data warehouse to actually load data elements that they want into the warehouse and or change values with using actual controls on the fields to validate that they're actually putting in data that makes proper sense with controls. There's limitless use cases for Apex. We've built a couple of them already. I'm going to show you the screenshots of our finance system support ticketing system that we actually put into place using Apex. Any custom workflow or productivity applications, it's a very powerful tool. So this is an actual screenshot of our custom application that we built on Apex. And I kid you not, it took under a month for our tech-savvy person to build on our team. She is not a traditional programmer by any means. She was just very good with SQL. And using the Apex tools that come embedded in the autonomous database, she built this very attractive looking system. And it's literally a full-blown ticketing system that we needed to serve a use case. Users needed to submit tickets to us about the analytics system or about issues they were having in the ERP or EPM systems. We built a very lightweight application to give users a very custom experience of our finance team, where they can actually come into a screen, select very, very catered options that are meaningful to finance, so we're not bogged down with the other ticketing systems that are around the company where you have lots of different drop downs and fields that are generic to other teams, so making it very confusing for users. So very easily we were able to actually put this in place and give the users the simplification of actually using drop-downs that were meaningful to them with just our systems on them, and put in validations and controls that were really, really specific to our liking to make the process as efficient as possible. It's got full-fledged capabilities to do audit tracking on the tickets to see what's happening through the life cycle, and it's got workflows built into it. So really, I kid you not, it took us a couple of weeks to get this up and running because it's just so easy using Apex. As you'd expect, the autonomous database can be directly accessible from Analytics Cloud. So we've actually also been able to supplement that ticketing tool by building an Analytics Cloud subject area on top of it. So we can actually analyze the tickets that are being entered into that Apex application through their life cycle, and really gotten a perfect mix of the upfront form controls where we have users entering in the data and selecting the drop downs specifically that would benefit us the most with being able to get robust reporting and understanding of trends based on the selections they've picked of their root causes and the categories of the issues, and really gotten a catered analytics subject area and dashboards to show us exactly what's happening and understand the latest trends in the data. So this is just one of infinite number of use cases where you could just build something that really is infinitely potential in terms of customizability and ease of adoption, because we did this all very quickly with very limited programming knowledge, I must say. On our 2020 roadmap, things we're looking to still do for the rest of this year, probably going on beyond this year. We're going to be continuing to add more data sources into that autonomous data warehouse, so users can get more out of it, get more access to more data from various system sources that they want to see merged together with the data that's already in there. There's a high demand because users just see how easy it is once we get that data in there. We've got a very long list of tickets piling up with those requests to get more data. The expansion of our Apex application use cases. People have seen how easy it is to build an Apex application and how we've actually automated and simplified the process of submitting a support request just for the finance systems. All of our finance business partners and our HR partners have seen what benefits they can get out of that Apex application as opposed to using manual Word documents or Excel spreadsheets where they're requiring various parts of the organization to submit requests to them through these decentralized channels and Word forms. They've seen what we've been able to do with the Apex steps, and we're starting to get some high demands to actually add more of those into our autonomous database for them to automate different business processes. We're also looking to migrate a couple of our legacy system databases over to the autonomous data warehouse to get people quick access to the data they need from those historical systems. And then being real fancy, looking to implement the chatbot capabilities of digital assistants and the machine learning of Analytics Cloud. So again, using our universal credits, we've got extra buffer room on top of the dollars we've already used up to deploy the analytics. We can easily just deploy another chatbot and start hammering away trying to get robots to answer questions for us, maybe answer our tickets. So really, I must say that the analytics and platform as a service space does offer a pretty limitless potential in terms of the use cases and flexibility to make it scalable and adaptable for your use cases. I really hope that you guys have found this information useful. We were first coming into the platform as a service space and the cloud space. We were one of the first clients that were coming into a lot of this. So, hearing, what other companies are doing and getting the benefits of seeing some of those real life use cases, I feel really goes a long way in understanding how you can better leverage the tools and the amazing flexibility that's available in this Oracle Cloud platform as a service space. Definitely hope that you guys have gotten a lot out of the content we've been able to share with you today.
Wow, it was an amazing presentation. I'm looking forward to see more of our global Oracle Analytics leaders presenting. If you want to know more about this presentation, just ask your question in our Q&A. You can also complete the survey. And again, thanks for joining and thanks for watching.